this morning. It's going to utilize the children a lot. That's the plan. So in just a second, I'm going to invite them to come sit on the front because it'll make it easier for them to get around. But often we go through Advent, and see, technically Advent is not Christmas, so we're not really supposed to do the Christmas hymns. We're supposed to do hymns that get us ready for Christmas. We're not supposed to really tell a Christmas story. We're supposed to think about things that help us get ready for the Christmas story. And so Jennifer did such a nice job mentioning about hope and peace and joy and love. In the old days, I mean the real old days, back in the very first days of the church, those weren't the themes because they were expecting Jesus to come like tomorrow or next week, but certainly in their own generation. So their themes were a little bit more immediate, shall we say. Their themes were heaven, hell, death, and judgment. Doesn't sound like a lot of fun, does it? But it's a different time now, and time has passed, and we live in what they technically call, are you ready for this, the delay of the parousia. Now, if you're at the water cooler this week, that'll come in handy, I'm sure. Means the delay of the return appearance of Jesus. In other words, we're not sure when he's coming, but we still have the hope, and we still pray for peace, and we have joy and love because of our faith in Christ and the knowledge that it will happen in God's time. But what I want to do today then is break all those rules and remind us of what we're getting ready for Christmas. So we'll be more Advent-y. Well, actually we won't because we've got the choir cantata next week, and that's a Christmas cantata, isn't it? And then we've got the children's program on the 24th, and that's a Christmas program. And then Christmas Eve, that evening, is the Love Feast, and that's about Christmas. So we're just going to do a whole month of Christmas this year. And we're going to be really happy about that. So let me invite all the children to come because you're going to get to do things. And while you're coming, come right. So I got room for you right up here. If you don't, squeeze into this next one. We'll get you close so you're handy. And this is by design. The box didn't hold everything. We just kind of laid it out on the pew. Start over here, please. And if it gets full, just blend over into this other next row here. But we'll get you squeezed in. Right behind. Let's go to the second row because you sit on that stuff, something might break. Maybe you. And we might fill in with some grown-ups once in a while to help with some of this if we need to, okay? But the purpose of this is to tell the Christmas story based on what's at hand. So by design, I asked Spencer and some folks that helped her to come up with some props to help us tell the story. And just whatever they could find. It's something that will help us think about kings and shepherds and whatever else we need. And that's what we've got. And so you guys are going to do some of the parts as we go through. We'll tell the story, and you'll get parts to play for that, okay? And, pardon me real quick, right here, we might do an interview or two. We'll see how that goes. This is by design. This is kind of an off-the-cuff, I'm impromptu, as we go kind of a thing. And so we're going to try it out. Now, you guys know Jesus was born over 2,000 years ago, right? And people had a lot to worry about 2,000 years ago because their country was not free. Now, see, why are we free? What I'm thinking out here is nobody's our boss, are they, as a country? We don't have another country whose army is in here telling us how to run everything and who's going to do what and making us do what they want. We get to do what we want, right? Well, in Jesus' day, their country called Judah was not free like that because the Romans were there with their army telling people how they had to do things. They had to pay taxes to the other country. That doesn't seem fair, does it? Because they had to pay their taxes to their country too. So they were all upset about that, and it means that because, of course, you know, if there's another army in your country, you don't really have peace, do you? So they thought about that a lot, and it bothered them. And they weren't strong enough. They didn't have their own army really to do anything about it. And then God has this idea about peace that's really not the same as ours all the time. And that's what we're going to try to learn about today. So in the beginning of our story, remember, God goes to Mary and he says that, it's an angel goes to Mary and says that God's chosen you to be the mother of his son, Jesus. And so she says, well, that'll be fine. We sang about that in our first hymn this morning. So we need, and then right about the time that happened, Caesar Augustus was the the ruler in Rome, who is also the ruler over Judah, over their country. And what did he say? Do you all remember what he said? We're going to send everybody to their own hometown to be taxed, right? We're going to take a census and figure out how he's going to pay what taxes. We just talked about the taxes, didn't we? So Mary and Joseph was from Bethlehem. I lived in Nazareth, but he was from Bethlehem. That's like almost at the top of the country, having to go all the way to the bottom of the country, to Bethlehem. And so Mary and Joseph traveled. Now, I'm going to need a Mary. I'm going to need a Mary. Thank you. Welcome to the play. Come be Mary. Now, we want to remember, when we see you, we want to know you're Mary. So what are we going to put here for you to be Mary with? Let's see. This looks nice. The perfect fit. That might be too big. I'll tell you what. Let's do this. You ready? We're going to drape it like that right there. Okay? That's like a shawl, right? Is that what they call that, a shawl? You're a girl. You know how to handle those things, right? You guess? That's a good answer. That'll work. All right. Now, we're going to need Joseph. Who's Joseph? Do you want to be Joseph? Oh, come on up here. You be Joseph. I want you to meet your soon-to-be husband right here. Okay. Now, let's see. Joseph was really good, a really good guy. And he's going to need I don't know if we can do a shawl for you. Boy, it just looks a little large there, son. What do you think Joseph would? Here we go. Oh, this looks good. Yeah, I like this. Here's what we're going to do with this. You ready? Yep, that looks good. What do you think? You like that? Okay, you're Joseph. I think Joseph probably would have had a staff to walk with. They were making a long journey. So how about using that for your staff? All right, now, I think that Nazareth looks like it's over here, don't you think? Come to Nazareth. Yeah, that's fine. You should like Nazareth at your home. Okay. So, you're going to travel, where are you going? Bethlehem. So, let's go to Bethlehem over here. All right. What do you think? Right here, about here would be good, Bethlehem? Now, here's the first part of our story we want to think about. What is the story about when they get to Bethlehem, and what does the story tell us? What do you remember? All the rooms were full. At where? At the hotel. At the hotel. All right. In the Bible, these are what they call, there was no room at the inn, don't they? Yeah, the inn was a hotel. All right. But do you know there's a trick word in there? You're going to like this. I think this is really cool. Everybody had to go to their hometown to be counted, right? Now, I want you to think, this is perfect for me this week, because guess what I had in my house this weekend? I had my sister and her husband, that's Dave. Their last name is Schwartz. So every time I get a chance, I say, I'd like you to meet a pair of Schwartz. Right? But they're not a pair anymore because here's Charlie. He's one of them too. So they've been here. And then Caleb's over there, right? See? And Josh, he's got his own place close by. He doesn't stay at my place, but they've been over a lot. And see, Heather, his girlfriend, she's like girlfriend plus. All right? This is a thing. So, but that's another discussion. So they're here, and they've all been at the house. And Hannah's back, which is nice to have her. It's wonderful to have her for a while. We've all been together in one house. Now think about that. What if my brother in St. Louis had come down with his wife and their 2 kids? We'd have been chunked in there pretty tight, wouldn't they? So the word in the Bible for inn, it's all written in Greek because they did that a lot back in those days. And the word in there means guest room. Guest room. The houses weren't very big back in those days. They were small, but a lot of times they would have a guest room in case what? In case what? They had guests. It's a trick question. So if they had guests, what if all the family comes in, they all got to stay in one room? And then you find out that Mary shows up and they find out, oh, Mary's about to have a baby. You think Mary wants to have that baby with all the relatives hanging out in the room with her? No. So what do you think they might have done? They didn't want any company. They wanted some privacy. So where was the most private place? stable. All of a sudden, the stable's sounding pretty good right now, isn't it? All right, so guess what? We have a really nice one right up here. Come right on up here a second. Okay? There's no straw in there right now, but that's okay. A lot of this is pretend this morning. That's what we got to do. All right. Why, are you hungry? No. Okay. All right, you come back here with Mary. Now keep an eye on her, all right? You got to, just in case somebody comes by you don't like, you might have to take care of her. All right? You good? All right. All right. So that's going on there. Now, what else is going on? And the Bible story says what? Well, we're going to have enough. We're going to work with the animals in a minute, okay? But the next part of the story was where? Where were the? There was about shepherds, wasn't it? Where were the shepherds? Think about it. Shepherds were in the fields with their flocks. Now, isn't that a weird thing? Is that weird? Does that sound weird to you? It doesn't. All right. How many of you all know somebody in this area that farms? They do farms. Okay, good. Can you think of anybody in this room right now that farms? Who? Huh? That guy right there, Tony? That Tony? That's right, he does. Ask him this question. Stand up. Wait, we get the microphone here. All right. Ask him this question. Say, get it on. Say, Tony, would you like to have sheep in your field? Why, before when they're growing stuff?
Tony, would you like to have sheep in your field?
What did he say? What did he say? Did you see his head go like this? You asked me a question, you weren't paying attention. Come here. See, if you want an answer, you got to listen to it. All right, here. Ask him again.
Would you like to have sheep in your field?
What did he say? Huh?
No.
He said no. Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Because he'd have to shave their hair off.
Just because he'd have to shave the hair off the sheep? If he owned the sheep and wanted wool, that's exactly what he would have to do at some time. But we're talking about his field. What would the sheep do in the field? Yes, pooping is part of it. So, oh, this is getting too good. All right. Now, actually, what you said is not a silly answer. You don't know why? Here's what they did. This is really smart. See, they didn't have. What do we do with all the chickens? We have a lot of chicken and turkey people around here. What happens to all the stuff they leave behind? Fertilizer, right? It's a timing thing. If the sheep are in the fields while they're growing, the sheep are going to do what to the crop? They're going to eat it, aren't they? That's why Tony doesn't want sheep in his field. People who grow corn don't like deer in the corn, do they? Because they eat the corn. That's your crop. See? So if the sheep were in the fields, that means it was a certain time of year for those days. And that's because here's what they did. Before they planted, they wanted to get all the weeds and stuff out of the field. But they didn't have tractors and farm equipment and fertilizers and things like we do. So they did it this way. They put the sheep in the fields before they planted so that they could eat all the weeds and get them out of the way and fertilize. They did. That's what they did. And so that happened usually around March. So Jesus was probably born somewhere around March or early April or middle March, if you were going to look on an actual calendar. It's fine for us to celebrate it in December. That works real good. But the sheep were in the fields with the shepherds had the sheep in the fields, and it was nighttime. Now that means we need what? We need shepherds, don't we? We need two shepherds. Who'd like to be a shepherd? If it helps, shepherds get to hold a big stick. Oh, okay, come on. I knew that'd get somebody. Who else would like to be a shepherd? You want to do it? Well, come on. All right. Shepherds, now this is not exactly a shepherd's stick because they had a hook on the end of theirs, but I don't have one of those. So this is one. My grandfather found that out in the woods. That twisty thing's kind of cool, isn't it? And he whittled it down. And this one, I don't know where this came from, but it's here. So here, this is for you. So you got the rough ones for the shepherds. Anybody want to be a sheep? We need one sheep. You want to be a sheep? Come on, you can be a sheep. I don't know if I have a sheep thing. You look kind of sheepish. All right, let's see. Well, why? We got to save one for. Oh, that's good for that. All right. All right, I'll tell you what. Man, tell you what, put this, you know what I'm going to do? No, don't pull on this, all right? I don't want to get too tight.
Okay.
All right.
I'll try to.
Do this. All right, you ready? Now, trust me here. I'm not going to choke you.
Okay.
We're trying to be creative here. All right, now drape this over the back of you like that, so it makes you look more like you're a little got more white on you. All right, now get on your hands and knees.
Why?
You're the sheep. What do you mean, why? Come on down there. Good. All right, that's fine. Now, get that. All right, good?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Now, if you get hungry and you see any grass, go ahead and just graze it right up. That's going to be good. Now, if you guys are in the fields, be in the fields. You want to do the fields right here? This will be the fields. And while you're in the fields, what happens? You don't know yet because it was a surprise. You stay here and don't pay any attention to anything else for a minute because we need an angel. Who wants to be an angel? Didn't you want to be an angel? You wanted to be the angel. Now you're not so sure, are you? It's too late. You volunteered earlier. Come on. All right. Now you actually this might actually fit for you. Let's see. That'll work. Can you slip that on? Of course you can. There, you got that. And all right. No, I think you're good. There you go. All right. Now put that on because angels have halos, right? Okay, we're good? Okay, so the angel comes over here. Now, this is the angel. We think the angel will be higher, don't we? So come stand right here on this step. And you guys are there minding your own business with the sheep, right? Yeah, just taking care of stuff, watching them and everything. It's night. And then what does it say? It says, suddenly an angel of the Lord appeared before them, right? So, suddenly appear before them. No. Suddenly. Come back up here. Be sudden. If you want. There you go. Whoa, that scared me. Okay, and what did you tell him? Good news, guess what? Wait. Okay. All right. Tell him.
Good news. Jesus has been born.
Wait, and what else? Remember?
In Bethlehem, you need to go.
And that's right.
He's in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger.
What are swaddling clothes?
Like,
They use these like cloths, strips of cloth. They'd wrap him up nice and tight to make him feel safe and secure. Real simple, okay? And now, she appeared suddenly. What are you guys going to do when somebody appears suddenly before you? Gasp? Okay, go ahead. Good job. Good gasp. All right. Nicely done. Okay, so you did a great job. Don't you like that? Now, you go stand on the step up here now and be angelic. Is that possible? What would your mom say? Can you be angelic? Good answer. Yes, yes. Always be positive. All right. What are you guys going to do now? You think you're going to go see this thing or what?
Yes. Should, I guess.
Yeah, you should. That's a good idea. But guess what? We haven't put up here yet. There's no baby. That one?
Yes.
Do you think anybody would volunteer a live baby?
No.
You don't?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I know we got a couple here, but I don't know if they're really up for that. They might think this is a little bit too dangerous. And there's no straw. Hey, guess what? We got one. All right. All right. Let's see. We need to put a cushion, though, of some kind. So let's grab a couple of these things right here. Oh, look out. All right, here we go. Think that'll work? Now, it happens in this particular version of the story, it happens that Mary and Joseph had a governess who stayed close enough to make sure that the baby was well cared for. All right, because, Mary's a new mama, and new mamas often need a lot of help. right? So the governess stayed close enough to feel comfortable with the fact that Mary was doing a good job. And so far, you got this covered. All right, we're doing good. All right. Anytime the governess needs to intervene, she's free to do so. All right, so you going to go see the baby?
Yes.
Well, go see the baby. You want to go with? You can go with them. But the Bible story doesn't say you had anything to show me. You went to see the baby, not to. You're right here. Do right here. This is good. All right, come on. Come on. Here we go. I don't want you. All right, stay sheep. Stay sheep. All right. What do you see there? I think Jesus probably looked like about any other baby, don't you? Except there's one cool thing about this. He's 4 months old. Yeah, but you know what? We can work with that. Let me ask you this. Have you ever been a shepherd before? So he's closer to his part than you are to yours, so don't fuss. All right. But listen, here's one of the things. There weren't any other babies that had angels telling everybody about what this great news was. Right? So that's a cool thing. And part of the angel's message was, she said, peace on earth for everybody. That Jesus came to bring peace. We're going to come back to that in a minute. Now, you guys stay put here. This is where we're going to kind of deviate from the real story in the Bible just a little bit. But it's how we remember it all the time. And that was, who was the next person that we remember in the story? Wise men, right? Does it say 3 wise men?
Yeah, because there's
3 gifts, but it doesn't say 3 wise men, does it? It says 3 gifts. But we need wise men. Would you guys be wise men? No. You don't want to be a wise man? You don't either? You need to be a wise man. You be a wise person. Listen, these days, ladies can do anything. So come on, you can be a wise dude, a dudette. All right, now, who else would like to be a wise person? We need Greer? All right, wait, let's see. All right, and it says there were wise men that came and they had 3 gifts. Don't think that's going to work. Here, will you try that on? So we can do 2. You all both have the same size head, don't you?
There we go.
Here, I got an idea. Let's try this. Hold still. You ready? What do you think? Ninja? All right, how's that? Uh-oh. That'll work? You look very wise. Okay. All right. What do you think? You want to try that on? Nope, you don't. Too tall. All right. Maybe that'll be good. That too big for you? All right. Here. Try that. That'll work. That looks pretty good. All right. Here's yours. See, they don't have like rough sticks like shepherds. They got these cool staffs that have things on them that show that they're wise or something. And they had 3 gifts. You sure you want to be a wise person?
She does.
You do. Come on. We need another one. Now, we already learned about the crown. That's not going to work. Oh, you get silver. That'll be nice. All right, ready? Here we go. All right. How's that? Too tight? You want it tighter? No? Okay. All right. We don't want to squeeze anything too hard. All right. Now, let's see. We had gold, frankincense, and myrrh. We got 3 gift things up here. So we'll let that be gold. And frankincense. Which one of these looks more like frankincense and which looks more like myrrh to you? Faster. No? Frankincense? Okay. You get myrrh. Don't let the lid fall off. Myrrh doesn't smell very good. I'm just saying. There's nothing in there, see? Ooh. All right. So you came from the east. Let's see now. North is that way, right? So east is that way. What's what that way? East. I was really good at this in Boy Scouts. Been a long time. All right, so east is this way. East is that way. I just said that was north. Oh, I see where you're going now. Go that way. All right. I was only half right, but it was the wrong half. All right, so now you're coming from the east, right? And what are you following? A star. That's right, you're following a star. This is a part of the Bible story no one can really make sense of. There's a lot of ways you can explain certain miracles, or think we can, but some you can't, and this is one of them. You want to be the star. Come on. Now. All right, hold it up so they can see it. Now lead them to Bethlehem. All right? So the star came to rest over the place where Jesus was laid. And then you gave the gifts to Mary and Joseph, right? So why don't you give them your gifts and then slip right on up here and continue to honor and worship Jesus. All right, make a little room there. You want to go up there? All right, so here we got this picture. Now, in real life, if you read the story, it says that that when the wise men came, they found Jesus in the house. Actually says he was in the house. That's part of why we understand the part about the guest room being more of a house room and not a hotel. But it's all good for the story either way. And so we have this, but this is the kind of the picture that we draw. We have the wise men, the shepherds all at the same time. Instead of shepherds might have been as much as 2 or 3 years later in the Bible story. But we have this nice picture, and the angel's message was about. Do you remember? Peace on earth.
Peace on earth. Peace on earth.
All right, about peace on earth. Thank you. Peace on earth. So while you guys hang on there, just a second, we're almost done. While the idea of peace on earth. Now we look at what's going on around our world today, and it gets kind of scary sometimes, doesn't it? We hear about schools getting attacked, and we hear about people in the concert a while back, and we see a lot of news about North Korea, and we don't know what's going on there, and people are angry with each other in this country, and there's not a whole lot of peace right now, is there? And sometimes we aren't sure what to do, are we? Well, on this day when Jesus came, in this period of time, angels didn't give a lot of answers. They just said, guess what? This is how God's going to bring peace. So come and honor him. And that's the message I would like you guys to remember today. Think about this picture. And all the times you see pictures about Jesus and his birth, it was God's promise for peace. We don't always know how God's going to do things or when he's going to do them. But we can always trust that his promise is real. And here's his promise for peace. So when you think about baby Jesus, that's what I would like you to remember. We don't always know how, but we know that God will bring us peace. And that's what we want, isn't it? We want peace so that we can live and work and play and learn and go to school and all the things we have to do. And know that God is in control and God's taking care. So when you think of Jesus this season, if you're getting ready for Christmas, I want you to honor him by remembering he brings peace and being thankful that God made him such a special gift for all of us. Okay? What else you thought? Anything else you can think of? You guys did a great job helping me tell the story. All right. Why don't you put your stuff up over here?